Justice, where are you? Michel and Linda are here.
Love you, Linda.
The world is justice. Will we ever find justice?
The courthouse the other day in the hallway, you're singing
Will
"Oh
we
Happy
know
Day."
justice when we see it? To be and down may I lead the way, hoping justice will win the day. Listener clues, finding justice where we can. Join us now, we're on the run. Justice is waiting, we'll see it done.
Hey, the intro longer than a snack.
Oh, right. I love the intro. I love these intros, right?
When I was writing that, and I'm just writing sentences, because that's how it kind of works. And then you say, I want this kind of music, and this is the phrasing. And then it's amazing and scary. But I like it. I like it better than the other one that we were borrowing. So
yeah, no, I love it. I love it.
Anyway,
I dance to it all the time. Anyhow, so we said we're going to be off this week, but we're not. Here we are. Happy Thanksgiving week to everybody, by the way.
Yes, hope it's going well for one and all, and you're giving thanks for those things you have to be thankful for. And I'm sure if you take a moment, you'll have a lot of them. Just be positive.
Right. Be positive. So what are we talking about today?
I don't know how positive Mark Sanchez is at this particular time, but he's alive.
It relates to my Jets. By the way, who don't have a winning record this year. Last time they had a winning record, believe it or not, was with Mark Sanchez, which is kind of scary considering what we're about to talk about right now.
That is interesting. As folks might recall, he was involved in an altercation with a gentleman who was picking up the grease in Indianapolis, Indiana, in an alleyway between a restaurant, a bar, and a hotel. What really spurred it, I guess, I don't know how much of this to believe, but they say Sanchez was doing wind sprints or something in the alleyway and got mad because this guy's grease truck was parked there, confronted him, and the guy pulls out a weapon, a knife of some sort. Sanchez walks away pretty bloodied. In fact, for those who don't remember, let's just show you just a little bit of the surveillance video that has become available. It doesn't have, I have to believe there is some of the incident itself, but what we have are basically a before and after of the here's the alleyway, and you can watch as we see Mr. Sanchez walking and then running in some general direction, and then coming back a little bit worse for wear. You can see all the blood on his shirt. It's brutal. And there's, I guess that's the grease truck. So anyway, what's the latest on this deal? Oh wait, now he's going back. This I think is before these. You could tell when he was obviously stabbed.
And supposedly there's this video of him getting in the truck and the truck driver feeling threatened. The truck driver's name is Perry Toll. Again, these are all for public documents. There's a court. There's a court suit that's been filed. We're not talking about the criminal right here. That's another issue. We're talking about the civil suit that's been filed.
But wait, before we move on to the civil, I apologize. The trial is December 11th. The criminal trial.
The criminal trial, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We haven't heard much about that, but we have heard about very little, as a matter of fact, about that. And talk about
felony battery charge.
Lightning trials.
Yeah. So anyway, the civil case. Go ahead.
The civil case is in Indiana, the county of Marion. The plaintiff is Perry Toll. Let me just put up a little bit here. And this is actually the beginning of what is called an amended complaint. Now, there was an original complaint filed by Mr. Toll against Mr. Sanchez for the assault and battery on him and Fox Corporation. Because remember, Mark Sanchez was in Indianapolis because he was covering football games for Fox, which that relationship has now been severed. He no longer is related to Fox. He's no longer obviously getting paid covering football games. But you'll notice that there's an additional defendant here, and which is why this is called an amended complaint. That additional defendant is Hughes Culinary Inc. Now, who is that? Well, comes now the plaintiff, Perry Toll. Get this. This is ads by counsel Eric J. May and Edward R. Reichart of Golitko and Daily PC. and for his amended complaint for damages and a jury trial demand against defendants Mark Sanchez, Fox Corporation, and Hughes Culinary states the following. Now, what do they really state? I'm not going to go through all the pleadings, but what is here is that this new filing doesn't just say, hey, we're suing you, Fox Corporation, because you should have had knowledge about his activities, you should have had control over him, you should have been monitoring him, and you shouldn't have allowed him out alone in the county of Marion, Indianapolis. But Hughes Culinary, who we hadn't heard about before, actually is the restaurant who was accused of serving Mark Sanchez alcohol to the point where Sanchez was intoxicated the night of the incident. Think about the civil suit, for instance, in Karen Reed that's going on, right? The O'Keefe family is suing not only Karen Reed, but the bars that serve Karen Reed, leading to what the O'Keefe family says is her intoxication, and then leading to what they say is the death of John O'Keefe. Well, this is sort of similar.
These are dram shop laws. Both
right.
states, Massachusetts and Indiana, have dram shop. And basically, it's illegal to serve alcohol to an obviously intoxicated person.
Right. So it includes the Dram Shop Act violation. The restaurants have a duty not to serve somebody who's showing signs of intoxication, or even serve somebody a lot of liquor, because you know that a certain amount of liquor will make somebody drunk, right? You'll know that 0.08 limit that is in existence in most states. Sometimes it's an 0.5 limit. Is like 1 or 2 beers actually. But it also includes acts of negligence, right? And lays out, by the way, additional facts that Sanchez was in Indiana, as you and I have spoken about, for Fox-related work. And that's the question, was when he's doing wind sprints in the alley, is he there? Is it any way related to his work? Well, they're saying it is related to his work, and therefore Fox, the action of stabbing, the action of assaulting Perry Toll, for which he defended himself, according to Mr. Toll, and stabbing Mark Sanchez was foreseeable. It also added, by the way, Michael, more damages. Now, that's a lot of damages already if you're getting assaulted, but the jury gets to decide that. But it says that there's permanent disfigurement on behalf of Mr. Toll, emotional distress, medical costs, and lost income. So the permanent disfigurement is an interesting issue of the attack on him by Mr. Sanchez, leading to some kind of scarring, I gather.
Yeah. Well, we saw the picture of him in the hospital bed.
Oh,
looked rough.
Looked really rough.
That wouldn't surprise me. Here's what I think is interesting, and this will all come out, part of it in the criminal trial, which will be a sneak preview of the civil, which will settle. Sorry, won't be a trial in the civil, but the criminal is going to give us a lot of these details. There was supposedly a Fox meeting, pre-production meeting that night, either in the restaurant, maybe it spilled over into the bar, both owned by this new defendant. But they say, from what I've read, that he left about 9:30. That was his last drink at one of those establishments. And this incident happened just after midnight. So either he was so snockered that the effect lingered past, 2.5, 3 hours, or he was drinking later than they say he was.
By himself or somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that when depositions get taken, which will happen, I assume, after the criminal action ends, because Mr. Sanchez does have a Fifth Amendment right not to testify in the civil action right now. And if he decides never to testify in the civil action, just pass your policies over, bars. I mean, just pass the policies over for an individual incident, because when you saw Mr. Toll in that hospital room, oh my God, you're having an older gentleman, what was he, 67? 69 years old, being attacked, according to him, by a former NFL star who's pretty big and obviously still in very, very good shape.
So I think the most interesting, obviously I feel for the guy who was injured, and I hope the right thing happens for him, but the vicarious liability of Fox News Corp, those are the deep pockets.
That's the deep pockets.
And also, if they can connect that, man.
And also Sanchez needs help, obviously, if he's got a drinking problem. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe this criminal action will end up saving his life or something that could happen in the future that was even more egregious. If you can say there's something more egregious, I don't know. From Mr. Toll's behalf, there's nothing more egregious than what happened to him.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, once again, December 11th, assault felony battery charges will be in court in Marion County, which is basically Indianapolis. So we will keep an eye on that, as of course Brian Walsh will be in the midst of his trial as well. So, and I do believe they have a judge stepped into the Sanchez case and reversed the other judge's ruling about cameras. There will be cameras.
Right, that's correct. That is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of that, by the way. We're seeing a lot of judges like saying, well, there can't be cameras here. That's got to change, okay? The First Amendment's pretty clear with regard to it now. If you're in a state like New York, that just prohibits all cameras, but they do allow the public access. They do allow reporters in. They do allow sketch artists. That's a different story. But once you have cameras, and you allow cameras statewide or countywide, or wherever it's done, and then you decide, well, it's a high-profile case, we're not going to have cameras. That's a different story. And of course, the courts will make exceptions for having like the blur over people's. Ooh, Domino's is complaining here.
What?
The blur
What?
over people's faces when they're a witness. Oh, Dad, I want to be a TV star just like you.
Shh, quiet. Anyway, so so we'll obviously be keeping an eye on that. It's not like it's a Zoom hearing that you can't stream. I mean, that's outrageous. Okay, don't get me started on that whole issue either.
Yeah.
Okay, it was your fault. You mentioned Karen Reed. Okay.
It does, but I want to let you know. You know what? The best way to get that sunshine is to make sure that there's coverage for all YouTubers and law tubers like us, because we are now the media. So hit that subscribe button, that share, the like, and the notify. And when something comes up that is interesting to you, whether it be on Karen Reed, whether it be on Mark Sanchez, or whether it be on Fashion Friday, please just let us know.
We are Justice Served TV. Please try to do the right thing.